Hey everyone, this is Mitchell here on my YouTube channel. It's good to see you guys again. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great hump day. And this is finally for the first time in 3 weeks since I was kind of waiting until the election settled down to cover sports news and videos again. We're finally back at it, and this is college football week 11 picks. I cannot believe we're in that already since the lower type of since the higher conferences kind of started. It's been since the September 27th week, so I think since it really keeps picking up, I think there's gonna be a lot of bowl implications coming up this week, and this is the weekend before Thanksgiving on the typical normal season. So I think this is one they'll pick up. So tonight, I think, don't get me this wrong, but I think the MAC is playing every single Wednesday this year, most of their teams because of COVID, and they're probably trying to do it to not have fans and still get to have the players play, which is primarily the main focus of Division One is to play the games for sure. And the first one is Northern Illinois at Ball State. I'm gonna take Northern Illinois because I think they're truly the most consistent out of Ball State, and I think they'll get it done. That's on ESPN News tonight at 6. On CBS Sports Network tonight, I truly think because these are all MAC games that it's gonna be on most Wednesdays. It'll be Toledo at Eastern Michigan. I'm gonna take Eastern Michigan because I think they're a tad better than Toledo, but that should be a good one too. Western Michigan University will be at Central Michigan. I'm gonna take Central because they're at home, and I think they're having enough momentum to beat Western, and they're one of their biggest rivals in conference play to play. So I think they'll beat them there. Tomorrow we have a couple games actually. 25 Tulsa will host Tulane. I'm gonna take Tulsa because I think Tulsa is gonna be good enough to beat them in a very big conference matchup there. Utah State at Wyoming. I'm gonna take Utah State because they have legitly they won a bowl game a few years ago. I think they're good enough to beat them, and tickets are as low as $14. So I think there will be very low fans at both of these games, very little. And then this week, Friday the 20th, Purdue at Minnesota. I'm gonna take Minnesota. Minnesota's been on a very slow start. They've got blown out to Michigan. Last week they lost two, and one other week they won, but they're basically 1-2 right now. And I think Purdue's consistent enough. I think Minnesota's gonna finally get it done at home, so they'll pick up the win there. The top tier game, I say Syracuse and Louisville are playing each other. I'm gonna take Louisville because I think a 1-7, 1-6, or 1-7 Syracuse team's truly struggling too much to even hang with them. So I'm gonna take Louisville there. UMass at Florida Atlantic. I'm gonna take Florida Atlantic, and then the last game of the night is New Mexico at Air Force. I'm gonna take New Mexico, even though all the military schools I think are very much dominating. I think New Mexico is going to get this one done. This upcoming Friday night, and that's on 8:30 Central Time on Fox Sports 1. And then the one game that's canceled on Friday is University of Alabama Birmingham against Texas Alfredo. That game is canceled. I'm guessing because of COVID cases. The Oregon UCLA Oregon game, it looks like it's to be announced, so I don't think it's going to be scheduled as planned this weekend, probably because of the positive COVID test, I'm guessing, yet again. Indiana against the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's on at 11 a.m. That's the big noon Saturday game on Fox. I think Indiana's truly got a tough offense from beating Michigan. They've truly showed the country on why they are in the top 10 for the first time in a very, very long time. I think Justin Fields and company with Ohio State, I think they'll have enough manpower to win this game, but I think they're only going to win by 6 because Indiana's just been good enough lately. I think I think unlike Wisconsin and Penn State and Michigan, who played Ohio State the last few years, I think they're truly going to make it very, very close at the shoe because they truly have a lot of momentum in the Big Ten right now. Definitely the hottest team in the Big Ten without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm gonna take Ohio State, but that's gonna be my line for that one. So keep that as a hint when you're watching it. Number 4, Clemson will play Florida State. I'm gonna take Clemson to get this one done. I think even though Lawrence isn't gonna play this week because of the positive test, I think they'll have enough to beat Florida State, and they'll want to stay consistent for college football playoff hunts with that win. Got the Gators at Vanderbilt. I'm gonna take Florida. over. I think Florida's got a good edge again under Kyle Trask and Nick Mullins' squad. I think they're gonna continue, and they're gonna keep their college football playoff hopes alive by winning this one. Appalachian State at CCU. I'm gonna take CCU. Coastal Carolina University. They're 15th ranked, so I think they're gonna beat Appalachian State, which that's a very tough conference game for them, by the way. Stephen F. Austin at Memphis. I'm gonna take Memphis. Illinois at Nebraska. I think Illinois truly, after Wisconsin, they got truly blown out to. They truly got blown out to the Badgers, and yeah, I think Graham Mertz truly dominated that game. So I think Nebraska's gonna be too much for them as they struggled with Wisconsin on the road. Even though that was a while ago, I think they're gonna continue to struggle in tough road games. So we'll take the Huskers there. Michigan State, they got killed last weekend. I cannot believe how bad they were against Indiana, but I'm happy as a Michigan fan that they lost after us getting felt like blowout to them. It wasn't a blowout, but it just felt like it. I'm gonna take Maryland to win this one because I don't think Michigan State's gonna have enough strong momentum. Michigan's truly struggling too much there, so I think Maryland's gonna have the true edge over them. East Carolina University. At Temple. I'm gonna take Temple. Georgia Southern at Army. I'm gonna take Army. The struggling LSU Tigers, literally Ed Orgeron after a huge national championship victory last year could get fired. Imagine that, folks. If he got fired, that would sure be a 2020 statement for sure. I'm gonna take LSU to get this one done, but I think this is a very, very big game between both the teams because I think they're both probably in the same record percentile. So I think LSU will get it done, but that's gonna be a very good one to keep an eye on for the SEC. Louisiana Lafayette will take on Clark, whoever they are. I'm gonna take Louisiana Lafayette. Florida International will take on Western Kentucky. I'm gonna take Western Kentucky. Rice at North Texas. I'm gonna take North Texas. Number 8 BYU who like UCF a few years ago. They're trying to slide into the college football playoff with being undefeated, trying to tell the country that they have a shot. I think they're gonna beat Northern Alabama or whoever that is. UTSA, which is San Antonio, they'll be playing Southern Mississippi and going to take Texas San Antonio. Arkansas State at Texas State. I think Texas State's truly got a better edge over Arkansas State, so I'll take Texas State there. The Badgers of Wisconsin, they're number 10th in the country, and they bumped up their college football playoff hopes big time after a miraculous blowout against Michigan last weekend. They're going to be playing number 19 Northwestern, who's also under Pat Fitzgerald's squad's They're starting to get back to what they were a few years ago, kind of more of a powerhouse in the Big Ten, especially in the Big Ten West. Isn't necessarily the most dominant. This is pretty much going to be for a spot in the Big Ten championship. I think Wisconsin under Graham Mertz, if he really gets it going, I think they're going to win by a field goal. I'm not going to guarantee anything because with fans or no fans, I think Northwestern's honestly really tough at Ryan Field, so it's a very tough place to play. But Wisconsin truly, I think they're going to have enough momentum with Mertz. Like I said, I think they're gonna win by that last second field goal. This will be one of the biggest games in the entire year, so very much looking forward to watching that one. Next, we have senior Sam Ehlinger leading Texas to an upset win last weekend. They're back in the top 25 after that rise and win for sure. They are going to play Kansas. I think Texas is going to continue their winning streak, and they're going to get this one done. Middle Tennessee State will be playing Troy. I'm going to take Middle Tennessee State. Iowa at Penn State. Penn State continues to be winless. They're 0-4. They're 0-3 or 0-4 now. I'm going to take Penn State to get their first win of the season because they eventually want some type of win. They talked about having James Franklin in the hot seat, but I think truly for some of the Big Ten teams, it's truly just a short season. It's just a tough season to get by. So I'm going to take Penn State to get a big rebound win here. San Diego State at Nevada. I'm going to take San Diego State under head coach Brady Holcor. They're continuing to really surprise the country for sure. I'm going to take them there. The California Golden Bears will be playing Oregon State. I'm going to take Oregon State. Kentucky against the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm going to take number 1 Alabama to pull this, to definitely blow them out. Kentucky's definitely not as good this year. Kansas State at Iowa State. I'm going to take Iowa State to continue their rankings and try to climb up in the top 10 for a good bowl game. ACU at Virginia. That's non-conference. I'm going to take Virginia there. Virginia Tech at Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Virginia Tech. Georgia State at University of USA. I'm going to take Georgia State. UNLV at Colorado. I'm definitely going to take UNLV. Tennessee at very much struggling Auburn. Bo Nix's there, whatever. That's actually $308. So that must be a very, very big game for the SEC. Can't imagine paying $308 to go to a game right now, folks. So, yeah, this is the ESPN website. They just say how much tickets are, basically. I think Auburn will have enough. Tennessee is actually has been playing better this year. They're in the 500 zone, and Auburn's trying to get a pretty fresh win, so I think they would against Tennessee, and I think they will. San Jose State will be playing Fresno State in a Mountain West Conference matchup. I'm going to take Fresno State because I think they're good enough at their home field to get this one. Mississippi State at Georgia. I think Georgia, after losing a few weeks ago, I think they're going to get back in the top 10 and beat Mississippi State. Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. The in-state rivalry is actually taking place really early. It usually is around the Thanksgiving weekend, but with COVID, it probably got moved up. I think Spencer Rattler and company, especially that it's a night game on ABC, I think they're gonna have enough, and I think they're gonna pull out a slight upset against Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State. So I think after watching the Texas-Oklahoma instant classic, the Red River Showdown a month ago, I think Oklahoma's gonna have a good enough offense to pull this out in a monster conference and rivalry game for the weekend. Liberty at NC State. I'm going to take NC State to pull off a slight upset there. I think Liberty is kind of due to lose sometime, and since it's in NC State, I think that's going to happen there. Missouri at South Carolina. I'm going to take the Gamecocks there. I think in Michigan. So back to the Gamecocks. I think under Mac Brown, they're going to have enough to get this one done, and that's a fairly big game. It's on the SEC Network alternate and channel. Michigan at Rutgers. I hate to say it as a U of M fan, but I'm going to take Rutgers. They're truly struggling too much. Joe Milton looks like trash right now. The defense isn't there. Don Brown's got to go. Harbaugh's got to potentially go, but especially Don Brown. The defense is like the worst I've ever seen against the Spartans, the worst against Wisconsin, where I had to turn it off in the third quarter for how frustrated I was, even though I was very unsurprised by the matchup. It was very frustrating, so I'm gonna take Rutgers because I think they're struggling way too much to win on the road in a game that's not even that big anymore because of how embarrassingly bad they are. So yeah, we'll go with them there for a slight upset. Arizona at Washington. We're gonna take Washington to probably get back in the top 25 with this one. USC will be playing Utah at 9:30 on ESPN. This is gonna be decent, but I think USC's a slightly bit better than Utah. So I think they'll improve after this win from their 20th ranking. Washington State University actually at Stanford. I'm gonna take Stanford because Stanford's always good at home, and that's where they are. Boise State at Hawaii for the last Mountain West matchup and the last Division I matchup of the day. Think Boise State's gonna have enough to beat Hawaii. Just truly out of my prediction there. So with that being said, we have seven matchups that are postponed for the weekend due to COVID-19, which the one SEC game, like I said, it's not scheduled yet, but which is UCLA Oregon, but I think with these matchups, they're gonna probably get rescheduled to a later date. That's why bowl games are so much later than they usually are. Ole Mississippi at Texas A&M is the first one postponed. The second one is Georgia Tech at number 12 Miami. Colgate at Marshall, Wake Forest at Duke, Houston at SMU, ULM at versus Louisiana Tech, which is probably neutral site because it's versus instead of at. Navy at South Florida, And then Arizona State at Colorado. Those are all the postponed games. So, but unlike Alabama, LSU, and other matchups that have gotten postponed, and was lucky that Clemson Notre Dame ended up staying on. But unlike Alabama, LSU, which is one of the biggest rivalries in all college football, none of these really stand out in it for this weekend for college football. So it's not disappointing to see some of them postponed, especially that they need to keep safe with all the health warnings that are really out there. So hope you all enjoyed this video. It's been a while, and I'll see you on my next one. And please keep staying safe out there.